You look at Texas right now, and it's really becoming this incredible hub for advanced manufacturing.
Oh, absolutely.
We're seeing these huge investments, right? Like Apple building that AI server facility near Houston, JCB expanding in San Antonio.
And Tesla, Samsung.
Yeah,
They just keep growing.
exactly. And it's fantastic for the economy, obviously, but it's creating a real challenge, too.
It's skills gap.
Yeah, this massive need for skilled workers. Such different areas, high-tech hardware, heavy equipment.
And the interesting thread connecting a lot of it is AI, isn't it? Artificial intelligence is popping up everywhere in these processes.
That's a great point. It's not just one type of skill anymore.
No, it's this really unique situation. The sheer breadth of it in Texas. You've got the super precise stuff, electronics assembly, data centers needing one kind of expertise.
Right. Very meticulous.
And then, on the completely other end, you need people who understand advanced welding, complex hydraulics, robotics, plus all the safety protocols that go with heavy machinery.
And traditional training, I guess it just struggles to keep up with the speed and the variety of skills needed now.
That's the core problem. It's too slow.
Yeah.
Often too generic. These industries are evolving so fast.
Okay, so how do you actually bridge that gap quickly, effectively? That's what we're really digging into today. We're looking at this initiative from a company called EON Reality. They're using something they call spatial AI and XR.
Extended reality, so VR, AR, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And they're not doing it alone.
Right.
They're partnering up with Texas state agencies, technical colleges, and the big industry players, too. Apple, JCB, the list goes on.
Yeah, that partnership piece is key.
The whole idea, as I understand it, is to get Texans trained up fast with skills that are actually future-proof for these jobs, whether it's putting together AI servers or mastering welding or, like you said, working with AI.
And the core technology they're using is this EON XR platform. Think of it as like a cloud system for building and sharing interactive 3D training simulations.
Okay, so virtual training environments.
Right. But the really revolutionary part, it's their spatial AI text-to-XR engine.
Text-to-XR, what does that mean?
It means you can feed it, say, a complex technical manual like for one of those Apple servers or JCB hydraulic schematics, safety rules, whatever.
Just text documents.
Basically, yeah. And the AI turns that text into a dynamic, interactive XR training module. And get this, in under 80 seconds.
Wait, less than 80 seconds?
Yeah.
From a manual to interactive training? That's wild.
Yeah.
Usually developing that stuff takes weeks, months even.
Exactly. That speed, that agility for creating relevant training content. It's a huge deal for industries that change so quickly.
I can see why that kind of responsiveness feels essential. So it's the platform, the AI engine, but they're also launching these AI Academy for Income tracks. What's the story there?
So these are specific training programs really tailored to the big growth sectors. Think like AI, hardware and data center tech, or advanced heavy equipment manufacturing.
Got it. Specialized paths.
And they're not just watching videos. They combine those XR simulations we talked about with AI that personalizes the learning for each person.
Okay. Adaptive learning.
Right. And the focus is really on proving you can do the job skill competency. They offer micro-credentials, which industry recognizes. And, crucially, they build in pathways to actual jobs with Texas companies.
Ah, so it connects directly to employment.
Yeah.
That's smart. Avoids that train and pray situation.
Precisely. It's designed to be a direct pipeline.
And there's also something called the EON Career Guide and Compass. Sounds like navigation.
That's a good way to put it. It's basically an AI career advisor. It helps people understand, what jobs are out there in Texas manufacturing.
Which can be overwhelming, I bet.
For sure. And it helps identify transferable skills, like maybe your skills in automation could apply to tech and heavy equipment, right? It helps you see those links.
Oh, interesting. Connecting the dots between sectors.
Yeah, and then it helps you build a personalized learning plan to get there. Super useful in a state with such a diverse industry.
And the curriculum itself, this AI-era multi-sector curriculum, that's not just generic content, is it?
No, not at all. It's co-developed with industry experts in Texas. People from Apple, JCB, Samsung, the manufacturers themselves.
So it's grounded in what employers actually need.
Exactly. The modules cover the deep technical stuff, but also, importantly, how to work with AI systems, how to use data effectively, skills that are becoming baseline in modern manufacturing.
So let's picture the learning experience. Instead of just reading a manual about, say, data center cooling.
You could be in a virtual data center, interacting with the cooling systems, troubleshooting simulated problems.
Or instead of diagrams of excavator controls.
You're in a realistic simulator, actually learning to operate it safely, feeling how it responds, but, without any real-world risk.
And they claim this helps people learn complex skills up to 4 times faster. Why? What's the mechanism there?
Well, it's about active engagement versus passive learning, right? When you're immersed, interacting, doing things virtually.
Learning by doing, essentially.
Exactly. Even if it's virtual doing. It engages more of your brain, builds muscle memory, a deeper understanding than just reading or watching. Think about learning to ride a bike from a book versus actually trying it.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. The practical engagement really cements it. Faster learning, better retention. The data seems to back that up.
Yeah, the retention figures are usually quite high with this type of training, often over 75%.
Okay, but making this happen across a state like Texas, that requires serious teamwork. You mentioned partnerships earlier.
Oh, absolutely critical. They're working closely with state agencies, Texas Economic Development Corporation, Texas Workforce Commission.
For strategy, funding, connections.
Right. Aligning it with state goals. Then you have the educational system, Texas State Technical College, community colleges. They're the deployment partners, basically.
Integrating it into existing programs, using their reach.
Exactly. Leveraging that statewide infrastructure. And then, of course, the industry leaders, Apple, JCB, Tesla, Samsung, manufacturing associations.
Defining the skills, validating the content, maybe even offering apprenticeships.
Potentially, yes.
Yes.
And ultimately hiring the graduates. It's really building this whole ecosystem, connecting all the pieces.
That sounds really comprehensive. And how are they actually rolling it out? Is it just in colleges?
It seems quite flexible. They're talking about regional AI academy hubs, integrating it onto college campuses, like we said, but also mobile XR training units.
Oh, so they can take it out to different communities.
Yeah, increase accessibility. Plus, they have trainer-to-trainer programs, which is smart for scaling up and sustainability, building local expertise.
Okay, so pulling this all together, what are the main benefits we expect to see for Texas manufacturing from this whole initiative?
Well, the big one is speed, right? Getting skilled workers into jobs faster because of that accelerates
learning. To 4x faster, yeah.
Then there's safety. Huge benefit. Practicing on delicate electronics or hazardous heavy equipment in VR. Zero physical risk.
That's a major plus, especially for complex or dangerous tasks.
Definitely. You should also see higher skill levels, better quality work, fewer errors because the training is more effective, better retention.
And the content creation aspect, the spatial AI, that means training can adapt super quickly.
Instantly almost. As tech changes, as procedures update, the training can keep pace. That's massive.
So it's scalable, probably more cost-effective than traditional methods with physical equipment and materials.
Yeah, they estimate potential savings of like 50–60% on training costs. And it helps build that future-proof workforce, people comfortable with AI, data, robotics.
Which ultimately strengthens the whole Texas economy, right? It makes it more attractive for future investment.
Absolutely. It feeds the success of those big investments we talked about at the start.
It really does sound like a powerful model. And I know the source material we looked at had a comparison table.
Yeah, it really starkly contrasts this approach with traditional training.
Highlighting the differences in how fast you can create content, learning speed, safety, access to equipment, AI skills integration, scalability, cost, even cross-skilling potential.
It really hammers home how different this is. It's not just a minor tweak. It's presented as a paradigm shift in workforce development using these new tools.
And just to make it more concrete for everyone listening, they gave specific examples, didn't they? Like for tech hardware.
Right. Imagine virtually assembling an AI server rack, maybe with AI guiding you based on the diagrams it processed, or running simulations of data center operations, managing power, cooling, troubleshooting network issues.
Virtual troubleshooting with simulated tools.
Yeah.
That sounds useful.
Yeah, or simulating thermal management. Really practical stuff for that sector.
And on the heavy equipment side.
Think about advanced robotic welding sims. Practicing complex welds without burning through materials or risking safety.
Okay.
Or immersive training on hydraulic systems. Again, maybe generated by AI directly from the schematics. Augmented reality guides for maintenance on machines.
Like an overlay on the real equipment or a virtual version.
Could be either, depending on the setup. And of course, simulators for actually operating heavy machinery, excavators, cranes, or even virtually exploring complex diesel engines. It shows the breadth of application.
It really does paint a picture. And there was a sample curriculum, too, showing the structure.
Yeah, a kind of multi-track model for Texas. Starts with core fundamentals, Industry 4.0, safety, data AI basics, lean principles, reading technical drawings, stuff everyone needs.
A common foundation.
Right. Then it splits into specializations. For the AI hardware data center track, you'd get into electronics assembly, server architecture, networking, diagnostics, thermal management, cybersecurity.
All very tech-focused.
And for the advanced heavy equipment track, it's things like advanced welding, hydraulics, pneumatics, robotics, diesel engines, maintenance, interpreting sensor data, human-AI collaboration. Really specific to that industrial side.
It shows how they're tailoring it. There was also that quote from EON Reality's chairman, Dan Lajerskar.
Yeah, that captured it well.
He said, Texas embodies the future of American manufacturing, a powerful blend of high technology and heavy industrial might. Our spatial AI capability is the key enabler, allowing us to instantly create tailored XR training. By empowering Texans to master these complex skills 4x faster, we provide the skilled, adaptable, AI-ready talent needed and solidify Texas's position.
It really ties together that diversity of Texas industry and how this AI-driven XR approach is designed to meet that specific broad challenge, that speed and adaptability point again.
Yeah, that seems to be the core message.
The ability to generate relevant training quickly and accelerate the learning curve, that's positioned as the game changer for Texas's diverse manufacturing landscape.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up,
Right.
It seems like EON Reality's initiative here is a really, a very compelling strategy for tackling this big manufacturing skills gap in Texas. Using spatial AI, using XR, they're aiming for speed, scale, adaptability, faster learning, safer training, and ultimately a workforce ready for what's next in both tech and heavy industry.
It definitely leaves you thinking, doesn't it? With technology moving this fast, especially in a place like Texas, what other kinds of innovative approaches might we need? Not just for manufacturing, but, across other sectors facing similar rapid change. How do we keep the workforce adaptable?
That's a great question to ponder. How does this kind of rapid, customizable training capability change the game elsewhere? If you want to explore this topic more, check out EON Reality's podcast and their EON XR spoken blog. We'll put links in the show notes.
Their overall mission, making knowledge accessible globally with AR, VR, and AI. This Texas project looks like a pretty concrete example of that in action.
Especially in such a critical area like advanced manufacturing. Definitely one to watch.